Hello friends, I am Mrs. Imagination, Angela Imagination. You can call me either one. Today's picture book is so fascinating. It's a little mysterious. And to help us get ready for this picture book, let's see what's inside my basket. Ooh, I spy something purple. Do you know what these are? This is a pair of binoculars. Do you know what they're used for? They go on your eyes, but what do you do with them? Well, let's see. Oh, wow, that looks close. Yes, it takes things that are far away and it makes them look closer. I like binoculars. Well, this is simple. This is just a little fluffy ball. It's actually called a pom-pom, but it's like a ball of fluff. Wow, I wonder what that has to do with our story. And there's this piece of paper in here. This is a color by number sheet. Have you ever done one of these? I still like to do them. They're fun, but when you first look at them, you can't tell what they are. Not until you start coloring them in, because see, on the outside there are a lot of fours, the number 4. And according to this down at the bottom, it says you color all the 4s orange. I don't know why this is in the basket. We'll have to wait and see. Why don't we dive right into our book? It's called It Looked Like Spilt Milk, and the author is Charles G. Shaw. I already have a question. You remember, we're going to ask questions and use our imaginations, but it says, it looked like spilt milk, but what is it? Something looks like spilt milk, and we're going to have to figure out what that thing is that looks like spilt milk. Let's see if we can figure it out. Sometimes it looked like spilt milk, but it wasn't. Sometimes it looked like a rabbit, but it wasn't. Sometimes it looked like a bird, but it wasn't. Sometimes it looked like a tree, but it wasn't. Sometimes it looked like an ice cream cone, but it wasn't. Sometimes it looked like a flower, but it wasn't. I wonder what it is. Sometimes it looked like a pig, but it wasn't. Sometimes it looked like a birthday cake, but it wasn't. Sometimes it looked like a sheep. Say it with me. But it wasn't. But. Sometimes it looked like a great horned owl. But it wasn't. Sometimes it looked like a mitten, but it wasn't. Sometimes it looked like a squirrel, but it wasn't. Sometimes it looked like an angel, but wasn't. Sometimes it looked like spilled milk, but it wasn't. It was just a cloud in the sky. Oh, wow, that's what it was all along. It was a cloud. The cloud kept changing. Have you ever had that experience? I have. Just not long ago, I was in the car with some of my family and I looked out the window and saw the pretty clouds up there and I said, look, that cloud. It reminds me of a dog sitting on its feet. Somebody else in the car said, oh no, I think that cloud looks like a fish. We thought it looked like different things. And I bet that's because we were using our imaginations and we had so much fun. It made that car trip so much less boring. We just kept trying to find things in the clouds. And that's what this book is about, how the clouds changed shapes. Well, the author, Charles G. Shaw, I wonder if he had ever sat and looked at the clouds, and that gave him the idea of writing this book. Wow. He just happened to be looking at the clouds and decided to write a story about what the clouds looked like. Do you know what else Charles G. Shaw did? He used repetition. Have you ever heard of that word? Repetition. You can say it. Repetition. It means to repeat something. Sometimes when you have to practice for a sport or even to play an instrument, you do the same thing over and over and over again. That means you're repeating your dribbles with basketball, or if you're playing the piano, you have to repeat the same notes over and over. That's called repetition. And authors use it sometimes in writing books. Do you remember what Charles G. Shaw repeated? He used repetition. Do you remember? I bet you do. He used on every page some of the same words. You see? Sometimes it looked like a bird, a rabbit, a birthday cake. He uses those words on every page. Sometimes it looked like, sometimes it looked like. He also used some other words. You helped me say them, right? Remember? But it wasn't a bird, a rabbit, a birthday cake, whatever. Yes, Charles G. Shaw, let's say that right. Charles G. Shaw used repetition in writing the book. Oh, it made it just be so fascinating. I really liked him using that repetition. Some authors do. Some authors repeat some of the same words. Some authors repeat just short phrases or maybe one word. Some repeat certain characters in the book, maybe not even in words, but in one of the pictures. You may see some of the same characters appearing on that page. It's fun to notice how the authors write their books. And I really liked this. Did you like It Looked Like Spilt Milk? It was a great book and I loved sharing it with you. If you want to see the activities that go with this book, you can find them in part 2 of It Looked Like Spilt Milk. It is so enjoyable spending time together while we read a picture book. I hope you'll want to come again soon. Until then, see ya.